Hello fellow academics and welcome back to Beavtorio. Look at that beautiful blue lake that we have here. We're always making significant progress, but we're almost done with our sewage pipe. And I can't tell you how excited I am for that, because once the sewage pipe is in, all of the bad water will flow out this direction. It will also help power our water wheels, and then we can start filling this up with regular water. There are a couple other projects that I have in mind, and we'll get to that. But for now, let's have our beavers build the remainder of our pipes. The next thing that we really need to do is make sure that we actually have we do have a sluice that goes in this direction, and we can say it closes. It should open above a contamination of 5%, and all the rest should close below a contamination. So this opens, and this opens as well. No, wait. This closes below a content. I'll figure this out. All right. So this opens above a contamination of 5%. So once the water in here reaches 5%, the bad water will flow out of this way. Now, if the contamination increases to 5%, this should actually close. Wait, okay. Close below a contamination of 5%, close above a contamination of 5%, and so on and so on. And I am actually gonna reduce this to 3% to keep the water a little bit cleaner in here. All right. And this is close above contamination of 5%. I think that is fine. So all of them kind of go in the same direction. Actually, everything in here on the inside should just be open. Not this one, but everything else. So we have this one open, this one open, this one is open, this one is open, and this one is open. All right. So I think we've got them all set up properly. So hopefully this will also turn blue. Blue whenever we're out of that drought and, start pumping water again. All right. In addition, yeah, you're doing nothing. You're actually completely filled up. Carrots are a little bit low. We don't actually have a ton of carrot planting area, but a ridiculous amount of potatoes apparently. So how about we switch these out for carrots? So slowly at least. In that case, we're going to remove this part. All right, we don't need the water supply in here yet, so that will be just fine. Let's have another look here, and this is almost done. Now, what I am thinking is, in order to keep this properly hydrated, I think I want to... actually, hold on. We need to figure out how to get to our metal, because our metal worker has basically no metal left to work. So let's go in here and do this part first. I'm gonna put a levee in here and 2 staircases. So because all of this is now clean water, I don't mind if our beaver walks through this. And once this is in, we do have the access to the additional metal area right here. And we will be needing that anyways. as I want to make sure we can really get down to this level. So, and I am thinking, which is always dangerous, so this will need 4,000 science, which is all fine, good and fine. I just want to make sure we have enough clearance above it. So this should be 1, 2, 3 high. So I'm gonna give it 4. All right, which means let's leave the opening on this side. We're gonna seal this off. 1, 2. Let's just close it up like this. 3. And then technically a 4th needs to go on top of there. So how do we actually do that? If we need to span over here. And the answer is we can't if we place it like this. So let's go ahead and delete all of this. We need 1 additional space on the side. So let's plan for that as well. So just like that. So this is 1. Two. Let's keep this building just like that. Probably don't need that front one, but that is okay. Okay, so now we have a 3 level high kind of situation going on. Now, in order to build a 4th level, well, not just a 4th level, in order to build this up, well, we did say we need 4 of these. So now we're gonna supply both. Oh, sorry about that. Let's delete this one and this one. And then we're going to add platforms on both sides. This needs to be a double platform, and then we can build these on top of here. So we need a 3. I guess we could do a 5 and a 2. I think that makes sense. And we should be able to do that. All right. Now that should give us enough space underneath. I'm really hoping. But I wonder if we should test this once we have enough science to actually place it. The idea that I have, and I'm really hoping we will be able to wrap this up in this episode, is to actually place a zipline station down here. And that seems to be working out pretty well. 700 science. Well, we need it anyways, so let's definitely do that. And then we can place the pathway system out in the front. Let's actually destroy you. Because I am thinking we could utilize part of this for some storage, which would be nice. However, it is scrap metal storage. So if we want to build scrap metal storage, we need enough space for a large pile. And that we do not have down here, at least not on this side. So let's go ahead and destroy both of these. And yes, we're figuring this out as we're going along. And then if we are placing a single dynamite here and here, we can place the zipline station on this side. Have, I think, enough space available. Let's see. If we were to place the mine, like this. We do have a free area space on this side. We do have a free area space on the other side. That's actually... Sometimes the planning is a little bit tough. Alright, so what I am thinking, if we are destroying this... Now this will be enough space for a stockpile, right? And then this over here should be enough space for the zipline station. Yes. And then hopefully this entrance, oh, here we go. Yep, it's right at that corner. All right, so we will actually be able to place it just like that once the dynamite is in. Now we will need to make sure that we are still sealing most of this off. And the way we're going to do this, gonna delete you. You're 3 levels high. That works for us. We can actually put levees over here. All we really need to do is make sure that this side here is covered. I need to unlock this one though. 1,000 science. You know what? We can do that. And then we just place the triple platforms over here. Put the levees on top. And we could turn all of this into sealed metal platforms, impermeable floors, which I think we're gonna do. Can't see it. There we go. All right, and the next thing that we're planning to do as well is build this part up. Here we go. And if we do that, we have an entrance over here, which hopefully will work out. Because my idea is that we can place a zipline station up here that goes immediately down there. And then we have an underwater area for us to build or to mine our metal blocks. Now that last area, that was a bit too much, so let me remove you. Let's make sure we don't have enough water. All of our beavers are thirsty. You can't reach anymore. That makes sense. So now we're gonna start pumping out this way. I'm very glad, well done past me, to actually build this. Look at how many unemployed beavers we have. Look at how many thirsty beavers we have. All right, you guys had enough downtime. Somebody please go in and start pumping some water. All right, good. This is moving along. Again, 3 unemployed beavers. We could actually produce some more bad water. And I guess some more explosives. We're a little bit low still on power. Not too much of a problem, I would say. But I think we're also going to make sure we place another windmill up here. Large windmill. There we go. That will supply us with additional power, which again will help us. All right, our sewage pipe is done, so I'm kind of excited to see how it's gonna work out. If things go well, and you know me, they always really don't. We should see nothing come out here once the drought ends. We're also a bit low in terms of food supply. How did that happen? All right, good. They're building all of this. I like that. And in instead of doing this area right here, I think we're gonna destroy part of this. Like make this one level deeper. And then we're just gonna build a tunnel. Shortest path, probably from here underneath. So let's unlock this tunnel. 2000 science though. Not enough science. Of course, that kind of makes sense. Now you can't place all of these because you can't get actually down there. So let's put another staircase in here. And once you are built, they can put in all the dynamite right there. All right. In addition, we're gonna make sure that we have a few more carrots down here. And since we're keeping this active now, we're also placing some more a little bit further down. And I think in the long run, this is how we're also going to extend our water supply to our farming area on this side. Oh, I did forget one little piece here. 200 berries. Berries are okay. Overall, not great, but okay. Water supply definitely all right. It is time that our drought ends though. Construction lacks material. Gears. I guess we do not have a gear workshop that is working right now. So let's turn you back on. And we need a few more power supply things in this corner. Why can't I? Oh, I see. I think you guys are in the way. So let's give you the highest priority to get rid of you. And I think I will actually pause our dynamite production, even though we do need some dynamite to build all of this. And they're actually putting it in right now. All right. So let's leave this active. I think that makes sense. There's a bunch of trees back here. Now with our forest area doing okay-ish, we don't really need to worry too much about it, but as always, I do worry. Anyway, we need some additional water storage. And I think that is something that we need to focus on. So while we are creating additional water storage over here, at the moment there's no direct pathway from here over to the side. Which in the long run will be a little bit detrimental. So I think we are gonna wait until we have the science to unlock the tunnels. Because that will allow us to put a connection from here underground to the other side. And then both of these will be combined. Do we want that? I think I prefer it slightly differently. All right, let's plan a little bit more. So what I am thinking, long term as well, is we are actually placing all of these into confinement. And how do we save the most wood? I think we're gonna leave a tunnel over this way. And then just like before, we can't seal these off because we need an additional space to do so. All right, so what we are then doing instead is destroy these. Let's make sure we're building around here. This will need to be tall enough. All of these will need to go up one. Maybe just like that. And then we can place a single platform over here. Put down our 4 deep platforms over this way. Levees over here. We can actually get a little bit closer on this side. And then put more levees in right there. In addition to more platforms. And this can also be a levee. And then our same 4 length platforms, overhangs, sorry. All right. What we can then relatively easily do is just close all of these off. Except for one little exit way that we're then going to build upwards. All right. Yeah, missed this side. Okay, this is outside of everything now, and this needs to go one higher. The drought has ended, and I'm very glad for that. I see. Actually, this was not a good idea. Because then we will need to build a bunch of these upwards, and I don't want to do that. So let's go ahead and make the same kind of pipe that we had on the other side. So making sure we have this completely sealed off, and then put down our single platforms over this way. All right, and all of that just needs to be then sealed off as well with levees. All the way around. Not this one. Yep, delete. Put a triple platform in here, another triple platform in here. And actually we don't need the triple platform here. All right. If we're doing that, we should be able to just place the levees on all of these sides around it. Single platform on top of this one. And then actually don't need that. And don't need that. And I know they're basically done building this now. But I want to give this a little bit more space. We're also just gonna give that space on one side. Actually, if we just do that. And then build more capacity over this way. We'll be able to store a little bit of bad water, which will allow our bad water pumpers to actually still just do their jobs. All right. Here we go, and one higher. There we go. All right. Based on this, now we need to make sure that we get to all of these areas back here. Oh, let me actually double check. Good. No water coming out of this. A little bit of regular water coming out of here. I very much like that. So I think we're doing overall okay with our water distribution. This will turn, hopefully, and we'll see that after the next bad tide or during the next bad tide. This should not fill up with bad water anymore. And if that is the case, we have an additional water storage in this section. All right. In addition, I think what we're also gonna do after all is delete all of this. Don't need you, don't need you. And then just add more levees up this way. All right. So from here on, like I mentioned before, we need to head over in this direction. So let's first make sure. Oh, actually. Ha. Doesn't quite work that way, huh? All right. How about this then? How about... No. Let's just go ahead and demolish these. I think it is fine for us to place a puffing system over this direction. But in order to place the bridges, we do have enough science to place one of them down at least. 1800 science. With that, we got actually pretty far. And that was the wrong one. Of course it was. Here we go. And that will be a double. Which means we can actually add another bridge. But if we put a bridge here, we'll be able to do this strip, but none of this. All right. So what we're doing instead is place a single here and then put a No, you know what? We're gonna do this from the other side. All right. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. Please don't trust me. All right. Here we go. Perfect. Actually, not perfect. So if we have this now, how do we spread out in both directions? And I think the pathway forward will be to... actually, this is still 3 levels high, right? Yeah. So I can put 1 level here. Then we put a triple. Nope. This needs to be a 4 wide over this way. And a 3 wide. Yep, over this way. Gonna add paths over here. Ooh, doesn't quite work. All right, try this again. Ah, I didn't need to destroy it all. All right, we need a triple over this way. We need a 4 wide over this way. And we need a 3 wide which we don't need to build with this. We can just go ahead and play. No, we need to place this. Actually, a 2 wide would probably do as well. Let's go ahead and place the 3 one. All right. Single platforms over here. Double platforms over here. And yes, I always leave a spot at the end empty, which should allow us to go in here and place this down. Now all of this should be able to be built. And we place this down. This will not be enough. So we will actually need technically this one. Still not enough. So let's remove you. Let's make sure we place you down. You're technically over here. So -1. Is that correct? Ooh, these 3-dimensional thinking challenges are tough. Alright, if I were to make this one longer, which we can do, we won't reach until the end. So let's actually just go ahead and place another 111 up here. And then the paths over this way. Alright. Very confusing to make, but it will kind of work out. Alright. Now they can build all of this in their free time. In the meantime, we are short on food. So let's go ahead and destroy all of the trees up here. This has actually built now enough. So we can increase the storage over there. Yeah, I don't mind leaving this for now. 1 level higher. Let's make sure we high prioritize cutting down those trees. They will probably not be able to get there though. At least not from this side. So for now, let's continue the path the other direction. I'm glad there will be a bad tide in the next season, because that will give us enough time. This hasn't even fully filled up yet. Weird. Very weird. Where's all the water going? I guess because we're filling both of them up, it's particularly slow. Let me actually increase this. I want to make sure our main water area here is filled. Let's also make sure we see the water flow under here. All of this is flowing in this direction. Yeah, everything looks good. All right. So, where were we? We've planned a lot of additional buildings and stuff. I am wondering if it would be worth to plan another path over this direction. Like if we are destroying this path here, since we have unlocked the largest bridge over this way, this needs to go 1 out. I think at least this is the right area. There we go. Perfect. And then we can put in a path over this way. So this way they can actually build it from both sides. Because they are actually putting it all together over this way. Very nice. I'm glad we don't, speaking of, we don't need to worry about power. So let's pause our power wheels. Make sure we turn on our lumber mills. Because we definitely need the planks. Yep, we're definitely... Oh, look at that. Now this is full. So let's lower this to 0. This should stop spilling over really soon. While we're still filling up this area. I mean, for 0.1 days, so not too long. And again, once the bad tide hits, I'm gonna slow this down. All of this looks actually pretty good. This has stopped. And look at that. Bad water is coming out this way. And I don't think it's flowing anywhere else. This looks sealed, this looks sealed. Same here, all of these look sealed. Yeah, I think we've sorted this out. So all the bad water now gets pumped out of this way. I'm surprised it's not more. But you know what? That's alright. Oh, should have set that back to 16 hours, not 24. Sorry, mates. I had you work super hard the entire time. We do have 12 explosives. We don't need any right now, so I'm gonna pause both of you. Still making a good amount of power over here. Sweet. Which makes me think we were planning on connecting this up, weren't we? And now with that added pathway, I kind of destroyed the plans. All right. Let's make sure that we finish planning this. And I'm not gonna connect it over here. I'm gonna make sure that we connect it over this way. All right, one high, one low. Put this in, connect this up here. And we are going to remove these paths. Yep. So we can place them. We wanted to leave kind of the gap here, didn't we? All right. Chop you down, which reminds me, food. Need to place a bunch more carrots. And I think you guys should be able to reach all of this. You can actually reach one further. So let's go ahead and do that as well. And hopefully, combined, this will do the trick for us. Now we can actually pump stuff out of here until we are running out again. But hopefully that'll take a little while, 17 days. Yeah, that's all right. Okay. Anyways, let's make sure we're making this connection up here. I need you, let's actually just make sure we're removing all of these trees up here. Again, so I don't need to think about it anymore. And then we're planning our pathway system. Oh, look at that. Don't actually need to connect this up. There we go. All right, one more pathway here. And I know you guys are building other stuff. Let's make sure you prioritize this instead. And then we just need to build the connection around here. All the way to the end. Highest priority on this one as well. And we need to chop down this tree. So highest priority over here too. Are you... it's the end of the day. So you're taking a break. Alright, let's have another look at our sewage outlet. It's working as well as we could have hoped. I was a bit worried that it would just shoot out, but I guess we're not producing enough bad water down here to make this go insane. Right. In the long term, we probably also want to redirect all of this just to fill this area up a little bit quicker. But for now, we have a ton of plans in play. Oh, this is also high priority now. Need a lumber, not a lumber, a paper miller, whatever the word is. 40 metal blocks for now. We don't actually need that many. I guess we can pause this guy. Alright. Now they've also started building all of this. Yeah, such busy beavers. Alright, 5 unemployed beavers. Much better. Okay, you're still pumping. I guess your productivity is a little bit low. Look at our food supply. It is actually going down real fast. I appreciate the added water here though. And we should just add more carrots where we can, because it'll be good for us. Carrots are healthy, so makes sense, I think. Alright, how are you doing? Yeah, we're just missing potatoes. Okay. I am gonna pause you now. Gonna turn you back on. Like I said, we'll figure all of this out. They have now built this connection over here, so let's continue this a little bit. But honestly, I think we've made enough plans. We need to figure out the rest in the next few episodes. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.